Hello everybody, how are you doing today? It's September, Friday the 13th, and it's about 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Manitoba, Canada. And I thought I'd give you guys a very detailed technical analysis, not only for yourselves, but for me as well. This way I can be prepared for what is to come or what could happen. So right now, I'm gonna evaluate it from the perspective of just not looking at the chart for say a long time, and then we're gonna break down the time frames from high to low, and we're basically the weekly, and then we're just gonna move down the time frames, and we're gonna take a look at the MACD, the RSI, the histogram, and just price action in general. I'm in a very relaxed mood today, so I apologize if there's a little bit of lack of enthusiasm, but know that I'm in a fairly serious and chill mood today. I've got a lot of people to see, lots of errands to run as well. So let's take a look at the monthly, and we're going to keep this a very professional technical analysis, okay? So right now, we are in, I'm always going to start off on the monthly if I'm looking at a new coin. So the monthly is now 13 days in, and what we can easily say, just to conclude from the beginning, is that this is the most important thing to establish thus far, is that we ended up hitting the 0.618 Fibonacci level right here, okay? So that's really important to make note of. And obviously a lot of bears entered the short position there. So now another thing we have to ask ourselves for Bitcoin is this right here. We're going to take a look at the weekly now. We're going to ask ourselves, what kind of retracement is this going to get? And is this just going to be a failed wave going to the upside? So then I'll take a look here and I'll say to myself, wow, okay, well, what we see here thus far is that first of all, this one ended up retracing to the 0.618 Fibonacci level, right? So now when we go from low to high, we're now looking at a retracement of 0.382. Very good retracement. It's actually going to be a very bullish retracement if we actually hold true at this particular point. So this is the congestion that we're unfamiliar with right now and what's going on, okay? So there's many different possibilities. So right now, if I take a look at the weekly, okay? If I take a look at the weekly, actually, you know what? Let's see what the MACD is doing on the monthly. We didn't even go over that. All right. So we see that, of course, it's going to be a lower high for the RSI. But right now, if you take a look at the monthly, okay, we're actually seeing this trend to the upside. Up, 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 up. But what we always have to ask ourselves is, when will the curvature change, right? Are we at the peak right now, or will this just keep going higher and higher and then eventually come back to the downside? So we don't know that yet right now. So now let's break it down on the weekly as well. We go down to the weekly and we say to ourselves, wow, all right, well, the weekly is a little bit scary here, okay? The weekly is still down ticking, but we want to ask ourselves, okay, well, how much is it going to downtick? Will it curve back up to the upside? Okay. If it does curve back up to the upside for the histogram here, then it's just going to do what a bullish coin will do. Okay. It's going to end up like this. Will end up, the curvature of this one here will actually just end up changing. Okay. Actually, it's a bad example here. The curvature of this will just end up changing like that or something. And then this one here will end up looping back to the other side. For example, like this, where the blue line ends up curving and then it ends up crossing over. And then that point right there will be the point where we get a major downtrend. So I'm saying that there could be massive waves to the upside. I'm going to show you guys one thing as a reminder as well, okay? So if you remember, on December the 17th, during the bull run, that is the day that the bull run ended up finishing, okay? December the 17th. That was last year. But if you actually take a look at, or sorry, that was 2017, okay? But if you take a look at 2017 of last year, that is when the bull run began, okay? So just to explain again, December 17 of 2017, that is where the bull run ended. But the next year after that, December the 17th, that's when the bull run started. So is it also safe to assume, based on the past 2 years, that either one of two things could happen? leading up to December the 17th, who knows? We might have a major bull run. I mean, take a look at, like 2017, we had a huge one, of course. Or will it mean that maybe December the 17th or near there, we might start a bull run? Okay? So we might have a bull run leading up to December the 17th, in my opinion, or we might have a bull run after December the 17th, just based on logical deduction of the past 2 years. So the weekly right now it's kind of what's scaring me, because I'm very, very unsure of how it's looking thus far. So I'm going to keep breaking it down. Okay, I'm going to keep breaking it down to the 3-day as well. So on the 3-day, actually on the weekly, where are we holding true? Okay, we're holding true above this particular purple EMA, which is the 13. And then if you take a look at the 3-day, for example, the 21 is the one holding true thus far. Every time we get into this particular zone, since July the 12th, it's a pretty long time in my opinion, like 2 months already, right? In this particular zone here that I'm just drawing there, there's always a reaction of some sort. Notice right here, this is the 21 EMA on the 3-day, bounced up, bounced up, bounced up. But the 3-day is not that significant to me. The most important one is actually the 2-day to me for Bitcoin right now, okay? And the reason why I say the 2-day is very significant is because, well, if you take a look right here, that bounced specifically off of the 55 moving average on the 2-day chart. And that to me is very significant, okay? And now if you take a look at the 2-day here as well, we are reaching a point where it's the histogram and the MACD as well. It's reaching neutrality, 0 point, right? It's reaching this axis right here at the 0 point line, okay? So this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. It is reaching 0 right here, okay? Do you guys know what I mean? It's about to be centered right over here, and along the y-axis, it's going to be at 0, right? So we don't know. It's very neutral right now, and when things like this happen, a very decisive break can easily happen. So our SI is in neutral territory as well, and we are very unsure of even where support or any type of resistances are based off our SI, okay? Now, if you go to the daily chart, this is what's interesting right here. We tried to break down to the downside, okay? Tried to break down right there, but this little guy right there ended up holding, and then we ended up progressing to the upside a little bit. So now I'm very curious to see what's going to happen here. Okay, will this just actually just come down like that, or will it actually go right to the upside? So I'd like to follow these trends. And if you look at the daily chart as well right now, the daily chart is right at neutral point, okay? Right at neutral point where it's right on the 55 moving average. And if you also take a look on the daily here, if you notice that, like, this is where a reaction always happens, okay? In this particular point, between the 55 EMA and also the 200 EMA, there's always a reaction when we get to those zones. Now, the question to me is, guys, remember that 8800 number that I've been saying? Okay, I've been saying it for a very long time now, and let me reiterate it another time, because I'm going to give you the bearish view first, because this is no doubt some sort of descending triangle for now. It's very difficult to disagree with this, right? It's so hard to disagree when we demarcate this specific region and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, this certainly looks like a descending triangle. So for those that are unfamiliar with it, I know that a lot of you guys know a lot about this already, but I want to make sure that I'm fair to everybody that might be new to my channel. So there's always a tension of the there's a push and a pull. Sorry, always I like to keep this on, stay in drawing mode. If you guys are unfamiliar with that, if you click on stay in drawing mode and then you choose anything like an arrow, you can just keep clicking, rather than having a click here, click there, click there, click there. Alright, so Ethereum is actually having a field day today, and then there's always the bears that are pushing down, they're fighting, and then eventually the bears win, right? And then they end up pushing it to the downside because the bulls are trying to only hold a specific region. They're only playing defense. But if you've noticed here, the bears are actually playing offense, where they're pushing it lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. So that's kind of the mentality of this type of triangle when there's a tension between the bulls and the bears. So now I'm just gonna extrapolate this for you, okay? I mean, yeah. If I just extrapolate that, just based on how it's looking so far, right? So let's just say we end up breaking to the downside. Well, 8800 is still a crazy number to me. It's still a very relevant number where it's at this specific point right here. It's matching up with the 200 moving average. So if we end up falling down, I mean, that's a beautiful play to be taking still. If like that I would be taking, right? I would probably end up shorting it right around, like, this is what I would do personally. Once again, okay, this is never a suggestion for what you guys should do. It's a suggestion for what, it's just showing you guys what I'm doing, and that's about it. So then that's going to be my target, 8800-ish. Like, maybe 8900, maybe even 9K. But I'll certainly be looking in this range for 2.54 risk to reward. That's a pretty good ratio in my opinion. With a 2% loss possibility and 5% gain, that's a beautiful play. So I just wanted to give you guys some options of just to give you perspective of what I'm thinking as well. So then the daily is also right in neutral territory as well. The 12-hour is not showing really anything whatsoever either. Hang on 1 second, please. My the right side tends to screw up once in a while. Okay. So yeah. So I'm actually in a long position for XRP already, okay? I just want to be very clear about that. And the reason why I am in a long position, I only have, it's not that many compared to what I normally play. I only have, I think, 50,000 XRP right now, which is not really that big of a position, right? I'm probably going to rack it up to about 100,000 XRP. It's for a decent 25K position there, okay? But the reason why I'm in a long position for XRP is this. Okay, the 3-day is just about to tear it up, right? The 3-day is just about to go to the positive side, and we've also maintained support here for about 30 days now. So, but I know that looks like it's a descending triangle right now, but I see it more like I don't really know if I see this as a continuation pattern or anything yet. I don't know if I see this as a descending triangle, but I do see the 3-day is doing something. And I also see that this right here is really, really parabolically going up right now. Okay, so I'm also seeing lots of people just eating up XRP. I love the sun exposure here. If you guys see it, it's actually beautiful. Anyways, so back to Bitcoin. Okay, so right now there's absolutely no direction whatsoever yet. Okay, so I think that we're just gonna pretty much make a test here again, right? We're gonna make a test around maybe 10,450, 10,500. So we got to be first of all mindful of this specific trend. Okay, demarcate the area that we're working on, and then see where the possible breakout regions are and where these resistances and supports are. Keep in mind that I want you guys to know that there's no such thing as lines, okay, in trading, right? These are just lines. But do you know what it actually is? These are psychological points where us humans react, okay? So once these are established, once that's established, we psychologically will assume that everybody will see the same thing and a reaction could be made there. So it's not really a line that we're looking at, right? These are just psychological points based on resistances and supports and how they're established. And I do believe in slope resistances. Some people may not, right? I'm definitely one of those traders that will acknowledge a support and a resistance based on a line, and it has absolutely held true for a long time. So right now, this particular point, I would like to see if there's going to be a breakout to the upside, or if there's going to be a breakdown, okay, or if there's going to be a strong rejection. So realistically, well, if we go long, guys, of course there's going to be so many different factors, okay, but this is going to be the first one. Please remember this right here. Okay, so right here is going to be the first resistance, because there's the interim of these two, right? So now we establish the resistance if we break to the upside. One resistance, two resistance, right? So then if we decide to go long on this breakout, if there is a chance and there's a lot of volume that ends up picking up, okay, then you guys should know all about these breakout strategies and stuff already based on the courses that I offer you, okay? I'll probably end up entering around 10,000, who knows, 10,500, 10,600 for a long position. I'm obviously going to target only the resistance and that's it. And I'm going to risk maybe 1% just in case I'm massively bull trapped, right? 3.33 RR, I'm down for that. What am I going to do? Most likely going to shed my position, right? Shed 25%, maybe 50, maybe even 75%. So I can actually guarantee that 3.37% profit or some of it. Use the house money, reinvest that profit back into the market. And now, you know, you're reducing your risk severely. Your stop loss is going to be managed really well. Your RR is going to change. There's lots of benefits to managing your position like that instead of taking profit all in one go, okay? So that's the bullish view, where if we end up breaking, okay, if we end up breaking to the upside, 10,500, like right now we've already recovered a lot, guys. In 3 hours we've gone up 2.45%. So it has been a very, very good day so far for a lot of people trading, I bet, because 2.45% for Bitcoin can easily translate into 5% for other coins. And a good trader may only need 1 or 2% a day to capitalize on a good day or good profits, okay? So it's a bullish view. We break out of here, hit there, awesome. And now the bearish view, okay, of course, is we try to get to here, and right, I'm just gonna end up shorting this guy. I'm gonna take probably a 2%, actually 1.5%, right? If we get to around those ranges, and my target will literally be something around here, I'm guessing. Around these points over here, first of all, because you just never know like how much of a support this can actually handle, or what kind of support we actually have there. So I'm going to do the exact same. I'm going to ladder it down, or sorry, not ladder it down, but I'm going to shed on the way down, right? And that's generally how I, if you guys see all this, LTC is over. Let's see what LTC is doing since these alerts are actually going off right now. Just to see what kind of day we're having maybe. So what did LTC just do? Alright, well, today LTC went up 3%. Not that bad. So I'm gonna once again I'm going to just shed on the way down. This way I can lock in some of the house profit as well, right? So there's many different scenarios that I've gone over. There's the bullish view, we break out of there. The bearish view, we reject, and then I'll probably end up targeting, honestly, 10K. Okay, guys, 10K is a really strong psychological number. I'm down for a 2.88 RR. That's pretty cool to me. Okay, awesome actually. And then of course there's also it never even reaching there. So if it never even reaches there, then it doesn't fit my criteria to enter a trade, because I need for it to hit this particular region to see what kind of reaction we get at specifically right here, if we reject or if we go up. But right now, if it doesn't do anything, I would just be entering out of FOMO or greed or fear. Why would I not enter now to go long? Because I got no confirmation it's going to break out of there yet. I've already missed my opportunity, and a 1.5% gain is not worth my time. Why would I not go short now? Because there's no confirmation of a downtrend yet either. This is a very neutral point in my opinion. So as it stands, guys, I'm just trying to offer you many different perspectives of what could possibly happen, and I'm actually going to leave it at that, okay? I hope that was a fairly detailed enough one for you, where we analyze a lot of the RSI. And RSI conclusion, guys, I think a consensus right now is it's a very neutral point right now, okay? So, and MACD and histogram, we can conclude that the weekly has still in the downtrend, okay? Weekly is definitely still in the downtrend. The daily is actually fighting its way to go up right now. The 2-day is fighting its way in the neutral point right now at the 0 line. The 3-day is down ticking, okay? It's definitely on the way down, just how everything is looking so far. So there's many different mixed signals. That's why we got to be really careful as a trader, just to make sure we cover as many possible angles as we can to prevent the unforeseen. If we can try to predict what could possibly happen, 5-6 different paths, it's just going to give us much more confidence in general to enter these types of trades. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will certainly try to update you as much as I possibly can, but I can't guarantee it because it's the weekend, and I have a very big engagement in Canada, actually my province only. It's called a social, where they have a really big party with family and friends. We all get together, and we're talking about parents as well, right? So, and we all rent a hall, like 400 people, and they just have it's kind of like a fundraiser for a wedding, put it that way. So I'm going to a fundraiser for a wedding, and it's a very Manitoban thing that we do here. I've never heard of it outside of a lot of places. So anyways, have yourselves a great weekend. And for those who are still interested in the course, guys, please make sure you're contacting me, okay? That would be amazing if you guys reach out to me in terms of if you've got questions and stuff. And I want you guys to know that I'm answering a crap ton of questions on Twitter. And I really hope that you guys take advantage of it, trying to be much more engaging in the community, and especially with you guys as well. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed today's technical analysis video, and have yourselves a great weekend. Bye now. Take care.